home and go back and come back safe. People only talk when there is one or two issues, infringement of their safety, their security. Somebody harass them out there, then they begin to shout, there is no security in this place, there is no security in this place. Sometimes we look at it this way. If there is no single police vehicle on the street, no single police presence on the streets of Lagos, I think it's going to be very difficult for people to move. So that's why people hardly appreciate security, because they don't really see it like other things like the road that they see well tarred, where there's potholes, they know that there's this one, there's pothole here, there is improvement in this area.
Are you saying that Lagos is a safe place to live in?
Oh, sure. Look at the volume of businesses coming into Lagos. Believe you me, if you go around the whole country, you appreciate the fact that Lagos State has one of the best security architecture in Nigeria.
That said, Mr. Elkanah, there are some hot spots in Lagos that people know that these places are hot spots. They know that crimes are being perpetrated in these places. So if you want to go or pass through those routes, you have to time yourself very well.
And I'm not ruling out those things. I just want to lay a background before I come back to them.
Okay.
All right.
Because some of those reports only succeed in putting fear in the minds of people. And these are instruments of terror to make people live in fear.
Well, one of these, the report that we read out, Mr. Elkanah, the report we read out was given by the IGP himself. Are you saying that he's using an instrument of terror to cast fear in the minds of people?
No, the report given by IGP did not put Lagos as one of the unsafe states in Nigeria.
True,
but I gave a list of the crime rate.
It said that over 1,000 people died in the first quarter alone. Isn't that scary?
It's a report based on the statistics that we have given us from states, and I'll explain those figures for you in Lagos so that you understand how we come about them also.
Okay.
Right.
All right. So I'm looking at the report first that said Lagos is unsafe, so that we will appreciate this better. We'll know, me and you will know whether Lagos is unsafe for all of us or not. Okay. Look at Lagos generally. I'm looking at the security architecture first. For the fact that we still have nightlife in Lagos means something is really working for us, unlike so many other states in Nigeria. I move around Lagos at night. I go to club too. I return. Nobody harass or molest me in the club or anywhere I move to. One. In Lagos here, let us be frank to ourselves. When last did you hear of any major bank robbery or major robbery that lasts for hours unchallenged in Lagos State? Just cast your mind now. People don't really look at this. They thought it's normal, it's natural, but something make it to happen. It is difficult for any organized crime or gang to come into Lagos here, attack for hours and go unchallenged. It is very, very difficult. What we have as a challenge that we're tackling are these youth gangsterisms. They call themselves cultists.
Right.
In different communities, organizing themselves into these little jobless boys. Some of them drop out, area boys, organizing themselves, snatching phones from people, molesting people on the street. That is an issue that we have. And they do it within minutes and they vanished because they know that they will be challenged.
Let me tell you some of those areas which you certainly would know. Bariga, Iyanoworo. Some persons have also mentioned some areas in Aja. We've got reports of those on the show regularly where these youth that you referred to, these gang groups have, become
They've
terror.
practically taken over those areas.
Taken over. You know these areas, which you've also mentioned. But, in fact, some of our colleagues here can come too early to the office because there's a time they can leave their houses.
Right.
If you leave before that time, you're just practically on your own. Since the police has identified this area, why is it taking so long to tackle these issues and solve the insecurity issues there?
Let me respond to this. There are even more than that number we have called because we started with a lot of intelligence analysis. First, the approach we have in the past is mostly a reactive approach. When these youth step out, patrol vehicles run after them, arrest the few, some run back to where they come from, and tomorrow they are back again.
Right.
The commissioner of police said, no, that approach is not really working. We must accept the fact that these youth gangsters are becoming something that we must pay attention to, which informed his decision to launch what is known as Operation Crush, targeted at those youth gangs. Now, the operation was tasked to identify them, their leadership, where they are, their memberships, and pick them. And be sure that they are uprooted completely and they never exist in Lagos.
When was this operation launched, Mr. Kana?
The operation was launched 3 months ago at Ikorodu. He picked Ikorodu because Ikorodu also was a very hot spot for the activities.
Right.
So that is why we moved the launch to that location. And from the time the operation was launched to now, 204 suspects were arrested and charged to court. Now, just last week, we paraded the number one man in the Awawa gang because Awawa gang disturb people in Agege Aziz. The target is mostly on who are their leaders. So this operation succeeded in picking quite a number of the leaders, and we have placed about 18 of them on wanted list now that we are also going after.
Now that you've mentioned the parade, I'm sorry to pause you a bit. We need to go on a break, but I need to ask you this. I mean, once you mentioned that word parade, the red flag went off right here, just in me. So why does the police parade suspects? The court have ruled not once, not twice on this issue that it's actually illegal and absolutely against the law to parade suspects. The thing to do is to charge them to court. Why does the police continually parade suspects before the media and for the public to see? If this is illegal, why is it still being done?
You see, fear of crime is a perception. When people have the perception that they are no longer safe, then definitely, the trauma people pass through in the fear of crime is even higher than the crime itself. We have a duty to really remove that fear from the mind of the people. And how do we do that? If they are not informed of what the police is doing about their safety. Now, we receive a lot of calls about Agege area, from Agege area about our boys. Now, we made a lot of arrests from that arrest. How would the people know that those who are actually disturbing them have been removed?
Wouldn't they know if you charge them to court and there is prosecution? Because what people actually want to see is prosecution. Many times these guys are arrested. We've got reports of their leaders going through the back to release them, and they're back on the streets. So if the police goes through that cycle, arrests them, prosecutes them, and then shares with the media the number of prosecutions, that also deals with this perception rather than successful, rather than staying with this illegal trend. We can't correct something illegal by doing something illegal.
Look at it all over the world. All over.
Some members a few days ago.
If the court have ruled that
5,000 naira from some people.
If the court have ruled that it is illegal to parade, we cannot insist on illegality now, can we?
So sorry, Wemimo, what people would want to know is...
I don't have that judgment, so I won't speak on it.
Oh, it's in the public, not even one or two.
Let me tell you the practice all over the world. Look at it. Once there's a crime, look at the international practice. Once there's a crime, the identity of the suspect is even revealed before he's even arrested.
Yeah, identity is
so
fine.
that people will understand that this is who is behind this that we are looking at. Does that really mean that he's already
that's different from a parade. A parade is then bringing these people before the media, some of them without their shirts, some of them in handcuffs, and then the media begins to question them. I believe the police is going through media trial.
Look at what we are doing. We bring them in a well-presentable manner, and their faces are not shown on the news. What we are only telling the world is that these are efforts we have put in place for their safety. That is one. Then number two, the community also should know that these suspects are arrested from their locality. Follow up your matter in court to be sure that justice is done.
All right, so let's go on a very quick break. The phone lines were already buzzing. I'm sure Nigerians want to join this conversation. Rotimi also is itching to get on this one. But we need to go on a very short break. Please hold the line, sir. It's just a minute to break. We're live on Facebook. We're also on YouTube. You can watch us there and leave us your comments on this conversation. It's the International Day of Non-Violence. So we're focusing on Lagos State issues around violence and insecurity. We have with us in the studio Rotimi, Sankore, and also the PPRO Lagos State, Mr. Bala Elkanah, is with us on the phone. We'll be back shortly to take your calls and comments. I am Wemimo Adewuni.
And I am Sheriff Quadry.
From your number one talk news and sports station, this is the Morning Crossfire with Wemimo and Sheriff. Your number one talk news and sports station. This is the Morning Crossfire with Wemimo and Sheriff.
You are welcome back as a Morning Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info. And today is International Day of Non-Violence. We're focusing on Lagos State and the issues around insecurity in Lagos State. The National Bureau of Statistics gave a report. The 2018 report shows that Lagos State is not even safe. I mean, in Nigeria, Lagos State was ranked as the 12th on the list of states with the highest number of people involved in road accidents, also 17th highest in the number of people killed in road accidents. Lagos State was also reported with the highest percentage of reported crime rate in Lagos. Lagos State in 2018, according to this report by the NBS, has the highest percentage share of total cases reported with 50,975. Of all cases in Nigeria, Lagos had 37.9% of reported crime. This is according to the National Bureau of Statistics report for 2018. We have Rotimi Sankore here in the studio. We also have Mr. Bala Elkanah, who is the Police Public Relations Officer, Lagos State, joining us on the conversation. Thanks for holding the line, sir. Are you there, Mr. Elkanah?
Yes.
Okay, thank you for holding the line. Okay, we're live on YouTube, also on Facebook, Twitter at Nigeria Info FM. WhatsApp is 08095975805. You're welcome back. I'm Wemimo Adewuni.
And I'm Sheriff Quadry. Rotimi, let's begin this round with you. Earlier on, before we went for the break, Mr. Bala kind of said something that he observed in these youths that are causing problems in some areas of the state, and he said that they are jobless youths. And we all know that, unemployment really is a key factor when it comes to social unrest. Very, very key. But let's talk about how this can be resolved. Because if the youths are unemployed, Rotimi, the police will just be busy doing something that might look like they're doing nothing, because there is no job for these youths to be engaged in.
So it's a global fact. The social science has established that the higher the unemployment, the higher the crime.
Right.
Young people that don't have access to education, job skills, reasonable income are more likely to be lured into crime. Indeed, the more they are in any particular area, the more the chances that they will form gangs.
Mm-hmm.
The more the social fabric collapses, in other words, the poorer the governance. And the data reflects this. I mean, places like Zamfara, for instance, that are consistently at the bottom of the wealth generation index, consistently at the top of the poverty index. Everyone can see what is happening there in the Northwest.
Right.
The story of the Northeast has been told enough times on how the outstanding majority of young people in Borno and Yobe don't have access. In fact, all men, if the percentage of all men that did not have access to education at the height of the Boko Haram insurgency, 83% in Yobe, 63% in Borno. So no education, no job skills. The data is global. So it stands to reason that if the police is doing intelligence-led work, as he has said, one of the things that the police should be pointing out to the political authorities is that the job of the police will be much easier if more effort, more investment is made to reduce unemployment, to increase education and job skills. Like I said in my intro, that all those areas are out of the control of the police. What the police can do is to arrest the situation with respect to those that they can see
the immediate incidents
that are committing crimes.
Right.
But if the sociology runs away from the police, then there is a big problem there. And I think that the police already has enough challenges in terms of quality human resources, in terms of training, in terms of equipment, in terms of funding. I mean, you can see creepingly the armed forces are being introduced into doing policing duty. You can see what happened, when some of the police officers described as star police, were attacked by members of armed forces that have been introduced into policing duties, things that police normally should be doing. If they had been equipped to do it. So it is important that we establish what is the role of the police, what are the challenges that they face, even internally. What is the percentage of bad eggs in the police?
Right.
As I was also saying, just a few days ago, the police is eager to clean up its image. Some of their officers that were found to themselves committing crime against citizens were arrested by the police and paraded. Now, on this parade thing you were asking, I think what will reassure people is successful prosecution.
Right. Not just the act of
people
arresting.
are successfully sentenced, and the police can come out and say, so last week, as a result of our work, 20 of the most notorious robbers
were apprehended.
Not just apprehended.
And then taken to
have
court.
Been successfully prosecuted and sentenced as follows.
Right.
A, 30 years.
In so
B,
and so prison.
That is what we actually reassure people. I understand the anxiety of the police to show that they are working. Hence, parading people, which is not the right thing to do. I understand that anxiety. But what will reassure people more is that these people have been successfully prosecuted and sentenced.
Right.
And the police can call a press conference and say, XYZ have been sentenced to 20, 30, 15 or whatever it
For
is,
assault and such a
according to
crime.
the crime. Look, once that is done, even some of the criminals themselves will say, look, this thing is not a joke. Oh.
Yeah, it's not just
If they-
arrest.
Yes,
there's
if they get you
prosecution.
like this, they will prosecute you successfully to the
detail.
end of the matter.
Right.
And you will spend 20 or 30 years. I mean, that is what actually deters people.
Right. Let's talk about tackling crime, Mr. Okana. One of the things that have also come up again, the EndSARS, the hashtag was all over the place just months ago, but this has come up again in another fashion. Now they call it Stop Robbing Us. There have been allegations. In Lagos, say we have a lot of tech guys, software. So in tackling crimes, it looks like the police is yet to get a hang of what criminals look like. So we have policemen who harass young men who probably have dreadlocks, carry backpacks, have a laptop, have a particular kind of phone, and they're then tagged criminals. There have been a lot of complaints by young men who say, I'm a software developer, I'm just going to work, I have a laptop, yes, that does not make me a fraudster. Some of them allege that policemen have beaten them up and in fact escorted them to the ATM to withdraw all the money in their accounts before they let them go.
Police even arrest some women, accuse them of indecent dressing.
So
I'm not sure what crime that is.
What that is. So let's talk about the challenges in tackling crime within the police itself. Today is International Day of Non-Violence. Police brutality has come up in conversations all over again. So please tell us, how do Nigerians report such brutality? Because we can't say that it's not happening. It is happening. In fact, we have a comment on Facebook. I'm just looking at this. Mark David Emerua says, please don't say Lagos is safe. I'm a software developer and I basically stay indoors and move around in the early hours because I'm scared of being beaten, threatened or robbed by the police. It says the major criminals are your colleagues in the police. So we want to change this perspective, but what really is the police doing to tidy this up?
Well, thank you very much for bringing this up. You know, we are posted to Lagos early this year. The Commissioner of Police took over around February this year. And one thing that we observe are influx of complaints from members of the public on police harassment in Lagos. We get those feedbacks also from radio programs, from the newspapers, and from people reaching us. The first thing with this was to look at how we could address this issue holistically. Now, we started by looking at the unit responsible for investigating complaints against police, because if you don't really have a redress mechanism within the system, then people will not really know where to run to.
Right.
We must address those issues. So the CP started by strengthening that unit, which is called Public Complaint Bureau, under the office of the PPRO, which is my own office. We now gave out dedicated lines for people to call. We have received a lot of complaints through that lines, which we have addressed. We have recovered a lot of money extorted from people. CP has made it clear that police officers who extort money from people are not different from kidnappers. He said it.
Absolutely.
Yes, are not different from kidnappers. He only used this, he said the normal kidnappers there, the relations of the victim don't really know where he is kept, but in our own case, they know where he is kept and waiting for ransom to be paid. That is the way he described them. And we did not stop at that. We went ahead subjecting them to interdisciplinary mechanisms, then hand them over to conventional courts. In quite a number of cases, we publicize it. We went as far as even parading them like we parade known police officers, so that people can follow their matters in court and see how it ended. To know that we are not just joking, because people will be feeling that they will just, after some time, you see them back. No, we say, look at where they are, follow the matter, till judgment is given in court, you know how it ended.
Talking
Now,
about reporting this crime.
This software is
yes.
also the recent case I'm handling.
Okay.
We have the police officers arrested. They are undergoing a Lirum trial right now. The
How many of them?
They are 4 in number. The complainant, we have been in touch. He gave me all the details I needed, and we tracked down the team, and we got them arrested. They are in custody, undergoing trial. Then we made it clear also that it is not a criminal offense for anybody to have dreadlock tattoo or to dress in certain manner.
Right.
It is not a criminal offense. So no police officer has right to go about the street harassing young men because of the way they look, the way they dress. We even went as far as withdrawing a team that we know is so responsible for that action. We look at among all the teams because they keep on using the word SARS. Now, we know that we have long kept SARS in the best. They only go out when there is robbery operation.
Right.
But when we keep on hearing the word SARS, we look inward to see which team is doing this because they operate in Mufti.
Yes.
We discover that it is the team that is even responsible for anti-cultism, which is the anti-cultism unit that was also doing that.
Okay.
Now, we also withdrew that team back, kept them in the best. So in the last few weeks, you hardly find some of those teams out.
However,
now,
if people need to report this, the allegations that were made were so some of these policemen are so smart, they'll tell you can't transfer to me. Go to the ATM and withdraw, then bring this money. So for instance, if this happened to me and I want to report this, how do you trace the amount? Since I withdrew it and then I then gave it to them. Many of them don't have their names on their t-shirts. Like you said, they're dressed in mufti. How do I prove my case? It looks like a bad case. I was beaten up, but how do I prove who did the beating and who collected the money and how much it was?
None of such cases reported to us that went undetected.
Great.
Because we look at a lot of things. First, we find out the area where that incident took place.
Okay.
So, Mr. Akana, please, if you don't mind, there is a question I'd like to ask, and this one is gender-based. We get these reports all the time that in places like Abuja, that there's a task force which includes some members of the police that goes around arresting women at night when they are coming back from work. You know, they may be nurses, they may be call center. In any case, they may just be going to visit people. They may just be going out socially. What is the police doing to ensure that, first of all, your members, no matter how few they are not involved in this kind of scenario in which women are afraid to go about their legitimate business
at any
point of the day? And secondly, who are these task forces and who empowers them? Why can't the police put a stop to it?
Well, honestly, I can't really speak for the on this example or scenario that you have pointed out in Abuja because I don't have the facts.
Indeed.
But in Lagos here, we have not received any complaint to that effect that women are being harassed here in Lagos.
There have been some women that have been stopped in some of these taxi services, and they are asked where they are going, and they are told that they are not dressed properly, and they are extorted. I've seen those cases in Lagos.
Let's talk about the numbers people can
in the media.
How people can report cases of harassment by the police.
I will give the number before the end of this program so that you can distribute it.
Yeah.
We have also designed some security tips and guides that we put in flyers. We went as far as putting those numbers there and numbers of every police station in Lagos here. This is something that we are going to flag up this week. Distribute to all the busy places everybody should have so that you know whom to talk to per time.
Right.
The number you can reach per time. So we are doing more of public awareness to combat crime generally, and to also see how we can also end police harassment.
Can we have those numbers now? We're heading to the phone lines now. Can we have those numbers?
All right, let me check. Let me copy it out from my phone.
Okay, while you're doing that, I'll give Nigerians the phone numbers.
Right, if you'd like to join the conversation, here are the numbers you can call.
Call us on 01-277-0993, 01-277-1993, 01-277-2993, and 01-277-3993. This is Nigeria Info. We are listening.
This is Nigeria Info. We are listening International Day of Non-Violence. On Twitter, we have a comment from Emmanuel here, who says, which Lagos is the resource person talking about? Please tell him that Ikorodu has been taken over by miscreants and gangs. I don't know why whenever... Oh, they had street talk. Well, he didn't mention that Ikorodu has been flagged. If you listened in, he didn't mention that. Well, Mr. Akana will be giving us the phone numbers you can call to report just shortly.
All right. Let's get to the phone lines in a moment. Hello, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Cherry.
Yeah,
Good
Ferdinand,
morning.
welcome to the show.
Yeah, good morning. Rotimi, I'm our police officer who is standing there.
Good morning.
Yeah, the problem is this task force of a thing that is anti-crime, anti-cultism or whatever. Sometimes they will wear uniform or they will not wear. So go to Abuo, first tag exit. So second rainbow here, that have been causing havoc. They nearly hit us down last week, where they are chasing a young boy who was just on Okada running on his own way. So their activities is so more hilarious, and they have to take note of this. That area is messed up by the police officers. Just go and check.
All right, Ferdinand.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling. Mr. Okana, are you ready with the numbers now?
Yes, I'm ready with the number.
Yes, please go on ahead.
0909
Okay.
000
Okay.
3792.
Okay. Okay. Other numbers?
This is the one directly under my office. They can call. This is the unit under me.
That's the Public Complaints Bureau.
Public Complaint Bureau.
Okay.
Complain against police, not crime, generally. Complain against police action.
Okay.
Anywhere in Lagos. You can send WhatsApp message to this number, text message. You can also call.
Okay, fantastic. Do we have other numbers to report crime?
Yes, there are the numbers to report crimes. We have quite a number of them also.
But usually 112 does the trick, right?
Yes.
Okay. So let's head back to the phones now.
We have Friday joining us. Friday, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, my brother.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is Friday. See, I want to say this because the way the officer is talking is like he based one area in Lagos. After Agbara, if you are going to Badagry side, there are two checking points, and these policemen, they give number to motorists. And you get to a time that police are even giving change now. They will stop you. They will give you number that you are number 2 of the day. They keep on doing it. It's on, even as of this morning. And they will stop your motor. If the conductor don't have change, you give them 500 naira. Policemen will look for change. They have enough change.
Wow.
Hello?
We can
Yes,
hear
we
you.
can hear you.
Yeah, they have enough change. They will delay you. The change is with them, but they will not give the change on time.
Friday.
They will delay you for... Hello?
Thank you, Friday, for calling. Extortion, that's what you're saying. Thank you. Vincent joins us now from Surulere. Vincent, good morning to you.
Good morning.
You're calling from Ikorodu, I guess.
Yes, I'm calling from Ikorodu.
Right.
Actually, I don't know how to even put it. The start issue, I had an encounter at Jibo Yaba here. It was a very, very funny, whereby I'm an Uber guy, so I carried one guy from Ikorodu heading down to Unilag. These guys with police, some of them were with police uniform with guns, and the other one were mufti. They stopped us, harassed the guy at my back, almost beat him up. In fact, told him to, does he have an ATM? The guy said no. So they asked that guy that they caught, does the guy have an ATM? The guy said yes. They told the guy to transfer to the other guy they caught, so that the guy will go and withdraw for them. So that is not even the first time I'm having such an encounter. Those guys, if you see them, you see as people that are smoking igbo, huge, as in fierce, as in very, very bad looking or something.
All right, extortion again.
Extortion.
Meg joins us. Meg, good morning to you.
Good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning.
I want to contribute to the program, and the senior police officer that is there, I don't know whether he doesn't live in Nigeria, because some of the questions you have asked him, he says he cannot talk on them, and I wonder why he's coming on a platform like yours and it's not properly prepared for all the questions that will be asked. A lot of things are going on in Lagos, a lot of wrong things that are going on, and the police cannot say they are not aware. Like Wemimo said, there are a lot of young men who are fighting to go out because of harassment from police. Harassment in terms of extortion, harassment in terms of so many other things. And I want to believe that your platform is to address issues and for him to take home certain things that needs to be done. Not everybody who has dreadlock is a criminal. Not everybody who carries a laptop is a criminal. Not every young lady who walks around in the night is a harlot. There are a lot of terrible things that are going on that the police force itself is aware of. We can't continue to go round and round in circles and when we are asked questions on how to address issues or things to be done, we just put it on, I don't have the details. Who is supposed to have the details? Is it me? It's not me. There are some criminals that have been arrested for over 2 years. We don't even know where they are. We don't know what has happened to them. We don't even know if they've been released. So what are we talking about?
Right.
What are we talking about? Nigeria is a failed state as far as I'm concerned. Honestly speaking, Nigeria is a failed state in every area. Let's not hallucinate about it. Thank you very much.
All right, Meg. Thank you so much. We work together to fix Nigeria. That's why we are here. We have Daniel from Ajegule. Daniel, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, my concern majorly is on this group that they call the anti-court guys. If you come to Ajegule, all the anti-court police officers and the SARS, they go about on dreadlock, print their hair and do all sorts. See, they arrest people for indecent dressing. They arrest people for moving about freely. And they harass them as well and extort money from them. Meanwhile, they themselves are not setting good example. And they say they are police, they are anti-court guys. I think charity begins at home. If you look at those police officers that are not well dressed, they should start dressing properly. They must be on t-shirts. They should have a name tag.
On their t-shirts, that's right.
Yes.
Absolutely. One of them was prosecuted just recently. The photo was shared online. Thank you so much, Daniel. And the police looked at. I saw that case.
I saw it too. Chris is here from Ajak. Chris, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
So far, I really thank the PPRC, the police.
The PPRO.
The PPRO. Sir, you're doing a great job. Thank you so much. But I just want to emphasize one thing. It's been on all the time. Even this morning, I was driving back from work around 4:30 a.m. There are some police at Aja bus stop. It's en routing to Badore exits. They stop boys every morning. They do come there Monday, Wednesday, and on Friday.
Wow.
Okay.
Early morning, 4:30 a.m. Seriously. And if they come there, if you're a young boy in an Uber, just know that you'll be there for like 31 hours. They'll be pressing your phone, searching your phone. If you refuse opening your phone to them, you'll be slapped. This morning, I carried 2 friends. They were stranded. I said, let me drop them off. Do you know what? Because I squeezed my face in talking to them. Why are you...
Hello,
Chris.
We're sorry about that. We lost your line.
Hello.
Yes,
okay.
Chris,
Please wrap it up quickly if you can.
These guys are anti-court something. I read what is wrote on their clothes. Scorpion.
Okay.
The way they were gone, they asked those 2 boys to calm down. Started, searching them, touching their ankles, their legs, their jeans, whatever and everything. And the next thing, they asked those boys to open their phone. If they can't open their phone, they will slap them. The other guy will say, Elijah will fall it, but no kind of thing. So I actually wanted to snap or video, but I said it's early morning because they could shoot you or fire you there, nobody will know what's up.
Thank you for bringing that up. Thank you. We'll put up the phone number that the PPRO has given us on our Twitter handle right now, so you can check it out. The number is 0890 9000 3792. 0909 1000 3792. If you didn't get it, we put it up on Twitter. We have lots of comments also on Facebook. Michael Etches says, I actually dislike the police with passion because they extort money from me at gunpoint. He goes on and on about his experience.
I think the PPRO should just respond to all of these comments. Briefly, sir, can you just wrap up just a short response to all of these comments about police brutality and extortion?
Well, let me start by saying that I'm not sure there's a place where we pretend not to know happenings around. Mm-hmm. We are very much aware, and I told you that from the time we came in, we have received a lot of complaints, feedbacks from members of the public on police harassment and extortion, which is why we create this unit and also gave out number. And from that moment, we have investigated quite a number of cases, which we are still doing. Please, if you experience police harassment or brutality, don't keep quiet. Shout out, make a noise, shout, cry out so that people can hear. Call these numbers. We have received quite a number of those issues referred from our friends from the social media, from Sagalink, from Rugged Man, from a lot of people, referring them back to us as people cry out. We also pick from there. We also monitor the social media to pick them on our own. To see, to investigate.
All right, sir.
We are sanitizing this. It may take us time to fix things right in this country, but definitely we'll get there with determination.
We have to go now. Thank you so much for joining us on the program this morning, Police PRO in Lagos. It's wonderful that you joined us this morning to shed light on all this. And thank you so much, sir, for coming on Morning Crossfire today.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was Mr. Balai Okana, who's the Police Public Relations Officer. Rotimi Sankore has also been here with us. Rotimi, thank you. That number is coming up on our Twitter handle right now. Go check it out at Nigeria Info FM. So please report police brutality. We will be seeing you again tomorrow morning with another topic on the Morning Crossfire. Remember, the show begins at 6. Thanks to Tosia Kenride, Yvonne Hokhaifor, as well as Zainab Yakin for assisting. Money, Business and Economy coming up shortly. We'll see you tomorrow. I am Wemimo Adewuni.
And I am Sharif Quadry.